What's going on, everybody? It's Austin Ariel from Captured Metal, and today I've got the brand new X3, and I'm actually very excited because you guys know I'm a big BMW fan, and more so than anything, I love compact SUVs, and this X3 is no different. And I finally got my hands on one, and I say finally, this has been in the mix for maybe about a week or so, but this specific one is something I'm excited to show you guys because it's actually a color combination that I really like. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Now, I've borrowed this X3 from United BMW here in the Alpharetta-Roswell area in North Atlanta. They were very kind to let me borrow this specific unit for this car review, so I thank them dearly, and I will link them in the description below so that way you can check out their inventory. They're one of the top, if not the top, volume BMW dealership in the entire country. So if there's a BMW that you want, I can guarantee you these guys can get it for you. Now, if you guys like this content, definitely like the video, subscribe, because there's a lot more in terms of content from all different brands that I will be releasing, and definitely hit that bell so that way you get a notification every time I release a new video. Now, if you couldn't tell, it is a colder, rainier day here in the Atlanta area, but that's not going to stop me from creating this content for you guys, and I apologize in advance for all the wind noise because it's a little windy out here. There's a cold front coming through, so I'm trying to get this out as quickly as I can without sacrificing any of the quality of the content. So anyways, let's go through the front end of this X3. Okay, so this one is an X3 xDrive30i, and it does have the M Sport package. Now, the biggest thing as far as this new X3, this is a brand new generation, okay? You notice the DRLs, a lot of people are like, oh, BMW's going away from angel eyes and things like that. That hasn't necessarily been BMW's trademark, right? BMW's trademark is just having two sets of lights on each side, typically, okay? Typically. They carry that through here. So the DRLs are still here in a dual setup per headlight, which is nice. Of course, you got full LED lighting in the front, as you would expect on any luxury vehicle. On the front end, you do have a lot of painted pieces in this gloss black to offset this Brooklyn gray paint, which looks insanely nice. I love these pastel gray colors. Looks really good. On camera, I hope it looks just as good as it does in person because holy cow, this is a sweet color, okay? You do have your reflector here, which kind of breaks up the paint a little bit. You do have parking sensors up front, things that you would expect. You do have BMW's larger kidney grille here, and I do believe it is illuminated as well. It's daytime, so you're not really going to be able to see that, but you do have a little LED strip that goes around through there. You do have a front camera as well, in addition to the other cameras to form a full surround view camera on this vehicle. Going down through here, see, it just beeped. So it probably, the keys on my pocket probably got a little too close. But to kind of go through the grille here, you have vertical slots and kind of diagonal slots here that kind of formulate the grille. You've got active aero on the top and bottom. You do have these inlets here for that turbocharged 4-cylinder, okay? And again, I'm gonna post all the specs at the very end of the video. I just wanna give you guys the visual aspects of this car so you know what to look for when you guys take a look at these cars in person. Going through the rest of the grille here, broken up in the middle with a painted piece, gloss black, and I kind of like that it's kind of opposite here, right? So you got gloss black here, but you got a painted piece up here, so it's not just one strike through the entire grille. But yeah, painted gloss black, and then you'll notice here that your adaptive cruise control brick is integrated into this piece here, and you still have little hidden kind of lines there to not break up the design of the grille. So overall, it's definitely a completely different design from what we're used to from BMW as far as their recent offerings. But I don't know about you guys, I actually really enjoyed this. It's a good departure. They're trying something different, and I think it's going to work out well, especially considering the X3 is one of their best-selling models. I know I'm mostly out of frame. Who cares? You got a 20-inch wheel here. This is specific to the M Sport package, and BMW is going really crazy with these kind of geometric design cues for their cars, especially in their wheels. And this wheel is no different, but if you kind of break it up, you can see kind of individual little pieces here throughout the wheel. Looks really cool. You got the painted inserts, but you got the machined outer portions of the wheel. It is wrapped in a Pirelli tire here. So overall, it's a very sporty design, fits with the M Sport design overall. I love it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so going through the side profile of the X3, just some notable things. Your side view camera is going to be on the camera housing, LED strips on the mirror. You are going to have these new door handle designs that are flush. They are mechanical door handles, and yes, they are capacitive touch. So as long as you have the car key on you, which I do here, of course, it's in its factory little encasing here. But as long as you have it on you, as you heard, the car will completely unlock. And yes, the door handle does physically go up, which is nice. And you will have these little slots here. So when you close it, just rest your finger on it and the car will lock and you can go on your merry way. But a lot of recent BMWs have the auto unlock and lock feature as long as you approach the vehicle and depart from the vehicle. But make note, you're not going to have that function on the rear handle. So if you want to unlock all 4 doors, you are going to have to use one of the front doors and then get to the back door. So just make note of that. All right, so let's talk about the back of the new X3. I'm going to give you guys some brutal honesty here. This car in person from the outside actually looks a little bit smaller. I promise you, once you sit in it, you will disagree. The car actually feels very large on the inside, but on the back, again, this is an M Sport model. You do have a roof spoiler, third brake light here, your BMW badge is back here, X3 30 badging back here. Again, I apologize for the wind noise. Like the front, you do have a lot of gloss black down here for your little valence. Rear parking sensors. Your reverse brake light is actually in the middle down here at the base of the bumper here. But overall, it is a very, very pretty cool design, honestly. And one thing I love is that they carried over the little halo ghost sword, I think that's what it's called, design for the DRLs for the back. I guess you wouldn't call them DRLs, but the running lights for the rear. So you know how they kind of pinch here and then expand. They kept that for this model. And if you want to see the actual lighting, look at that. So the design looks really, really cool. I hope this shows up on camera really nicely. And even on the side here, you have the same grille design pattern, the vertical and horizontal and diagonal slats in the side of the brake light housing. Just looks really, really cool. All right, so let's actually get into the trunk area. So the release is right here, opens right on up, power tailgate as you would expect. One thing to make note of, you see the backup camera there, and then you do have the buttons to close the tailgate and to actually lock it. But you can see here, it's a very simple area back here. You got a little hook, got a little 12-volt power station here as well. And then these little like speakers for the Harman-Kardon surround sound. And yes, you do have a little privacy cover here, or you'll see them called cargo covers, if you will. Going underneath here, let's open this on up. You see you do get a spare tire. Now, I will say, I'm not sure if that's on every X3 or if that's on this specific VIN, but you do have that on this model. And you got a little bit in terms of storage on the side with this net. And this is like a front plate cover if you're in one of the states that require it. LED lighting back here, and you are going to have, see, LED lights and tie down points there as well. You know, I got to try the back seat space. So let's take a look. All right. All right. So I'm sitting in the back of the X3 and I'm just going to be honest. I swear to you guys, looks are deceiving. I'm only 5'9", let that be known, but the space back here is actually fantastic. So the seats are a hair on the narrow side, but that is to be expected for this class of SUV. But I've got tons of headroom. Mind you, this one has a panoramic sky lounge, you know, sunroof. Then on top of that, I mean, I've got plenty of knee room here, leg room. Seats are pretty comfortable, actually. They're a little on the firm side, which is a very common BMW thing, but they are definitely comfortable. Honestly, this feels great. All right, so I'm actually sitting in the back seat. I want you guys to get a point of view kind of deal here, right? Side note, apologize if it looks foggy. It looks pretty clear on the camera, but there's a little condensation and such. But anyways, looking at the back of the front seat, so you're gonna notice you got this little hook here, so that way you've got little attachments that you can put on the back seat here. This interior color is called coffee, okay? Which, this might be controversial. I actually really like it. It's very different. You've got this quilted leather pattern here on the back of the seat. Yes, they go down via this little latch here that you can simply just pull, and they'll fold completely down. We'll keep that up for now. You can see you get the full panoramic sunroof here. From what I understand, the glass is fixed, but it is their Sky Lounge now, which is really pretty. It is becoming a common trend in the industry now for these to be fixed. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Going over here, you do have your map light, and you can see it slowly waft in and out as you turn it on and off. Very demure. And then you look on the side of the door, you've got the Harman Kardon speaker there. The door handle, which is flush with that accent. So I'll show you on this side. I guess this side would have been easier, but yeah. See, you got the door handle here that just simply pulls, and of course you open it. Harman Kardon, like I said, and then of course you do have a cup holder down here, little storage pocket here. And yes, it's a little wet from the rain and me closing the door and your window switch. Nothing too crazy. On the back here, you do have a little net to put whatever you want. You have that same little open space here for any attachment on the back of the seat. And this guy is very interesting. So these are your rear vents. And yes, you have a little storage cubby and USB-Cs. But if you notice, the vents here use this little dial and it moves the vent wherever you want it to go. Left, right, up or down. It's like a joystick almost. It's like you're playing a PlayStation back here. Then of course you can open and close the vents here. But these are going to be based off of the temperature of the display up front. Now, without further ado, let's actually head up front. Now, getting into the front seat, let's talk about the door card here. So you have that coffee color going into the door card, all your button switch gear, including your folding mirrors. You do have your tailgate opener right there up front. And then of course, all your lock unlock, nothing crazy there. Look at this ambient colored kind of glass-like, crystal-like material that they have going on in the door here. Really, really cool. And you can see the lock and unlock. These are buttons here, but you would never know because they look like little capacitive touch, little icons. You can see this guy is a capacitive touch icon. See your memory settings. See, you got 1, you got 2, you can set. Going onto the seat here, of course, you do have active bolsters that you can adjust if you want. So that's what those guys are. Lumbar support, and then of course, power seating as you would expect on any vehicle of this caliber. But look at the seat. It is very pretty. The headrest sits a little forward for better posture, but you can see the quilted leather looks beautiful. You got contrast stitching, which is white. It might be a cream, but it's so pretty nonetheless. The seat looks absolutely beautiful. And let's just look at the interior as a whole here, right? Yes, my camera equipment's there. There's my phone. But overall, this is a very, very pretty design. I like that it is a little more minimalistic versus prior generations, but they still left some character as far as design cues in this guy. And yes, it does have a head-up display right there. Let's go step in and see some of the features this X3 has to offer. On a side note, if you guys are curious of what this little capacitive touch guy does right here, get the camera closer, that actually shows you what levels of airflow you want out of that vent. So if you want full airflow, just drag it up. And I would imagine, yeah, you can just tap on whichever one, but it's cooler to drag it for theatrical effect. And then, heat. In this cold weather, it's incredible. All right, let's go point of view. I'm actually gonna bring my seat back quite a bit, so that way we've got a little bit more in terms of viewing pleasure for the interior. So you can see I have it on the climate control screen as you would expect because it is cold here in Atlanta. See, there's proof. It's 41 degrees. 41 degrees. It is really, really cold. But yes, so you got the cool low graphic here. It's an automatic mode, so it's pushing the air out through every vent known to man. Dual zone climate controls. As you can see, it's got the heated seat and heated steering wheel on. Yes, this thing is toasty. And then you can see here, you can control the airflow with this capacitive touch aspect here. Of course, you've got max air, your hazards, but look at this, watch this. So you press that, look at that. That is so cool. That is an attention to detail that is, no lie, cool, effective, but like, it's like you're having a party in here. Not a good one, but I love that aspect, right? And then you see it goes back to blue. Really, really cool attention to detail there. But the ambient lighting in here is just so pretty, and it's so subtle, honestly. It's not in your face, and that's something I really like. And while we're on the topic of the ambient lighting, yes, you can change it. You can see ambient lighting. You can even turn it on or off if your heart desires. Now it just goes completely blank. But why would you want to do that? So color, background light, accent lighting, and you can change the color. Look at these colors. Look at the name of it. Azure, lavender, you got citrine, gold, because yes, gold, flamingo. We love flamingos. Who doesn't like a flamingo? BMW loves flamingos. Rose, pearl, which is definitely more of a whitish kind of look. I actually really like that. I'm going to leave it on pearl. That is my new favorite. And then you just go press home. Goes back to the home screen. You see you got a huge navigation here. I mean, this is a massive screen. You press these four little boxes here and it brings you to the apps. Look at that, interior camera now. Only available with BMW ID. Yes, for those curious, the camera is right up there. So you can essentially take a selfie. I'm gonna hit cancel there. You see driving settings, climate controls, exterior lighting settings. You got Android Auto, you've got CarPlay, which is great. Connected Drive, that's BMW's telematics service. BMW ID, those are gonna be your guest profiles. BMW Maps, Alexa, and look how responsive this touchscreen is. It is incredibly responsive. This is like a 4K screen. It is incredible. Love it. Media, live vehicle. Look at that. I love the graphic. That almost even looks like Brooklyn Gray. Look at that. Adaptive content, trip data, vehicle status. So if you want to see, you know, live data as far as oil, things like that, you can do so. Now, make note, this is highly reflective only because it does have the factory protector on from when it comes off the truck. I am not going to do the honors of taking that off out of respect of the dealership, but I have a strong hint as to why this is so reflective. So please do not be alarmed. And then look, you got terrain view down here. So terrain view, it's going to look at all your angles, your steering angle, your level of the vehicle. So -1%, we're on a very, very slight decline here. So you have all those things to your disposal. As I'm going through the screen, mind you, this is a 14.9-inch display. This thing is massive. I found a weird but cool attention to detail. So for your circulation settings, you can choose. Do you want air recirculation or do you want fresh air? You decide. It's also worth pointing out that with the navigation, it is incredibly easy to use. See my destination on the left-hand side. You've got point of interest already populated. You can search whatever address that you want. And for those who are curious, yes, you still do have the iDrive knob here. So if you want to use it, you absolutely can. Also worth noting, down here in the lower portion of the climate controls, yes, if you touch on this guy right here, you can turn on the heated steering wheel or heated seats. Same deal here on the right hand side for the passenger. Tap on the seat and boom, you can turn on the heated seats. Some might complain that, hey, you gotta touch the screen and get into a menu to actually turn this on. But honestly, that takes only a second and you can do that with pure ease. All right, so let's talk this screen here because it is highly configurable, and we'll go through the steering wheel as well because they're kind of directly connected. So with this screen, you see you've got navigation integrated in between, of course, your gear selector and your speed there on the left-hand side. If you look on the steering wheel, you've got this little gear button here. You can press it and then content, and then you just use the scroll wheel here and boom, you can choose what you want as your content. Yes, that is a G-force meter in an X3. That is not an M car, which is hilarious to me, but it's really cool because it just shows the routes that BMW is going as far as performance. See more content there if you want radio. Scroll down even more. Oh, I guess that's the bottom of that menu. So you go up, see, navigation, compass. There's the car if you want a graphic. Going up, there you go. So more of your driving habits there, and then you can just have your speed directly in the middle. Now, if you click right, you can see layout. So you can choose what kind of layout you want for your screen, which is cool. And if you scroll right again, then you do have your heads-up display, which you can see actually does show up on camera. I'm surprised. Let me actually, let me zoom in there for you guys so you can see it ever so slowly. There you go. You can see the heads-up display, and you can even see, you know, different things in terms of radio and stations and things of that nature. So you look at that. Scroll through your radio, boom, you're good. All right, going more into the steering wheel. So on the left-hand side, you are going to have your cruise control settings, as you would expect, including the kind of mode that you want to be in. The steering wheel as a whole, it is definitely a thicker steering wheel. Yes, it is heated, as you saw earlier. It is flat bottom with the M designation, because again, this is an M Sport. You do have paddle shifters to shift through the transmission. So of course, this one's going to upshift, this one's going to downshift, and you see the boost option there. So if you hold this paddle shifter while driving, essentially it's going to put the car in the most performance oriented mode as far as the transmission, engine, etc. So that way you can get up and get out of the way or do whatever you need to for about 10 seconds, if I recall correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you have that option there for you as well. Now, going over here to the lever. So actually, it might be easier this way. Yep. So automatic lighting controls, as you would expect. And yes, when you adjust it, it tells you exactly what you change, which I actually really, really like. On the right-hand side, you have the tried and true for your wipers, automatic mode, something that you would expect on this car. These have been standard for years. I mean, shoot. So you got your automatic mode for your wipers, and you can do whatever you need to with those. Now, going into this area here, you'll see you got a wireless charging pad, you got USB-Cs, you got this whole little resting area, cup holders in the front. These should suffice for anybody with Yetis. Don't take my word for it. I'm just being facetious. Kind of hard with the glare. There we go. You got the M designation here in the center, which is just really cool attention to detail. You do have these glass knobs here, the iDrive knob, and yes, it'll control the navigation if you wanted to. Look how responsive that is. That is insane. Something that's a little different now is you have this shift by wire system here. So of course your start stop buttons here. This little knob, or tab, if you will, is what you use to control your shifter. So all you'd have to do is foot on the brake. You can go into reverse. You can see your surround view camera system, including your backup assistant. You can record a new path. So if you're in a tight spot and you need to know how to get out of that tight spot, you can do that. Look at that. You've got assist view here. You've got panorama view here. So if you need a wider view, look at that. More camera views, car wash view, 3D view. So yeah, so you don't drag. You just simply show where you want to see it. And this is actually a really high definition view. This is technology I love to see. So you've got all that, and then your standard parking view, as you would expect. Now, you're noticing there's no park gear, so what do? So from what I've gathered spending time with the car, I like to put it in neutral and just simply press park. But let's just say you're in reverse, you can just press the parking brake. And there you go. Automatically goes into park for you. You're good to go. And same deal, you just push down, goes into drive, and you're good to go. Still just press the parking brake and it automatically puts the car in park for you. No need to stress out on how to use the parking situation with a transmission. Still got auto hold here. You've got my modes. These are haptic feedback, so they look like they're just capacitive touch, but yes, you physically press down, and look at that. You got personal, sport, efficient, expressive, relax, digital art, and silent. Holy cow. So when you put it in relax, as you can see, it's doing something with the ambient lighting, and it's closing the sunroof. This is nuts. And look at that. It changes the entire screen. The entire car just changed. Holy cow. Let's go back to my modes. Expressive. Changes that. Look at that. Changes the ambient lighting. It's multicolored. Multicolored. And yes, it's opening that back up again. This is actually kind of fun. You guys should definitely experiment with this. Let's go back to my modes. Sport. Oh yeah. Gauge cluster changes. Red, blue. Look at that. Oh yeah. Definitely a more fun setting, if you will, for the car. I love their ambient lighting. This is pretty sweet. Love, love, love this. So you got that. Then if you press this button here, you can see drivetrain chassis settings here, iconic sounds, activate drive off support. So these are going to be if you're in off-road situations. You can deactivate the auto start stop feature here. hill descent control, lane departure warning, so you can get into the driver assistance menu if you want and adjust your settings as need be. Tap on driver train and chassis, see iconic sounds, handling, so you can see all the different settings that you can activate, and you can even activate, or not activate, but access your VIN from inside the car, which is actually pretty cool. Over here, you do have your little camera button here. So if you need to actually activate any of the parking camera situations, you can do that. Going up here, of course, these are similar. I'm trying to disregard the glare, but media settings, telephone, navigation. These are similar buttons to what you've had on BMWs prior, including the home button. So if you need to go home, you can do that. Media brings you to the media screen. Telephone, if you need to connect a new device, I'm not going to connect mine. And then nav, of course, so that way you can bring up the navigation display. And you notice your volume button is here, and look at the design. Same design you're getting on the grille and on the actual brake lights, and your previous and next track are right there next to it. Also, if you're curious about what the key looks like, there you go. It's very similar to BMW's other recent keys. So you do have lock button, tailgate opener, panic button. I mean, it's a pretty standard one. And of course, the lock button is going to be the actual BMW Signia there in the middle. This, I will be honest, looks better than it does in pictures.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like this one being the M Sport, it's the only way to go. Heck yeah. So essentially, the reason why I do like 3 to 5 minute test drives is because I like to put myself in the consumer's shoes, because naturally they're only getting what, 3, 5, 10 minutes with the car.
Right.
You know, so I mean, right.
Correct.
Unless y'all do extended test drives, but that's every dealer's, I guess, prerogative. So we're taking a right out of here.
Take a right, and then if there's a light, you'll take another right. And we just can go straight down that road.
Perfect. So this one's a 30i, so it's got the Turbo 4. From what I understand, they have a 48-volt mild hybrid system now. So 255 horses, 295 foot-pounds of torque. So, which is, yeah, which is more than adamant for something of this size.
Correct.
So, first impression wise, for sure, definitely quiet, which is interesting to say because usually a smaller chassis and shorter wheelbase, you get a little bit louder of a road noise. It's really comfortable too. Oh my God, I love these seats. These seats are super nice. I'm curious of why you have adaptive bolsters on the driver's seat, but not the passenger seat.
Oh, like extending it out?
Well, like these side bolsters.
Oh, for squeezing you, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's more of a, for the driver.
Yeah.
To, you know, I guess for more of a sportier feel.
Right.
Driver's seat.
Absolutely. But it makes sense because like I have it in my E60 and like it is
kind of hugs you a little bit.
Oh
right?
my goodness. Yeah.
Kind of good, I know.
Yeah. So if you're doing any spirited driving, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
keeps you in place, you know.
100%. Granted, I don't think anybody's tracking this thing, but it's just good to see that BMW's putting that emphasis of performance even on their non-dedicated M cars.
Correct.
My biggest thing that I've seen with the interior of this one is that everything is so tactile. Like even the headlight knob, it's got the little design that they have on the new grille now. It's like BMW's going crazy with that design.
Yep. Changing it up. A little futuristic kind of look, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, I like it.
It's their new, like they have it even on the front grill piece in the dash now.
Yeah, up here, yeah. What's down in the front?
Right. So you got it there. You have it in the design for the ambient lighting. You've got it in the charging pad design.
Yeah.
You got it on the volume knob. I mean, it's everywhere. Steering feel is definitely on the lighter side, which is kind of what you would expect with any modern luxury vehicle.
Right.
I know you got the different modes. You can put in the sport mode and things like that.
More stiffer steering as well.
Yeah. So like my modes, I noticed sport mode didn't close the sunroof, which is great because I noticed some of the other ones did, and I don't want it to rip off the camera. But we're gonna risk it for the biscuit now.
I don't think sports will do it.
Oh geez, yeah, that was a big difference. The throttle is actually like the pedal. Yeah, the pedal itself is heavier. Holy cow! Wow, steering did get a little bit heavier there, more responsive. The exhaust sounds louder. Are they pumping fake noise through the speakers?
I think it's iconic sounds.
Yeah. I saw that earlier.
You kind of hear it more in the speakers.
Yeah,
up here.
That's common amongst all brands. I don't hate it. Some people do, but I don't care. It sounds good.
Oh yeah, it gives you a more sportier feel of the car and stuff.
Yeah.
You hear it.
8-speed transmission. The shifts are super fast. Are we taking left or right?
Left up here.
Left up here. So you're going to teach me this whole new route.
Yeah, right.
Holy cow. Man.
Then you're just going to continue straight down this road.
Okay.
Get to the end.
Yeah, it's really comfortable. It's really quiet. Transmission's super fast, as you would expect with any BMW. Pretty sure it's a ZF transmission. BMW's notorious for using ZF. Love the paddle shifters. The boost function. So you like hold this for a few seconds.
You hold that for like 5 seconds. Gives you, yep.
They even time it down for you.
But when you get instant boost, pretty much, yeah.
That's wild. We're not going to test it in this weather, but that's cool.
Yeah, that's how you would activate it.
It's actually cool that they give you a little timer.
Yeah, it's counting down.
Yeah.
When it's going to activate. It's pretty cool, I know.
So you can do it back to back. Okay.
You can.
So that's interesting. I wonder why they give you a timer, but yeah, you can just do it back to back. So it's like, just continuously keep doing it.
Continuously boosting it, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a rhyme or reason for it. Man, this thing's awesome. I love how thick the steering wheel is, because like the steering wheel of my E60, the previous owner put a custom steering cover on it, so it's super thick like this. All right, which way are you going? Going straight? Are you going left? I'm gonna trust you now. So I'm not using paddle shifters. Power is instantaneous. I'm pretty sure that hybrid system adds some instant torque aspect to it.
Definitely, yes.
From what I read, 0 to 60 is in the 6-second range, which is more than adequate for something like this.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I know you got what, the M50i, right, with the B58.
That's right.
And then BMW's probably going to come out with another dedicated M model.
Most likely.
And I'm sure they're going to throw the S58 in there from the M3 and M4.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, steering feel in sport mode is really nice. It's still on the lighter side, but you still feel connected to the road. And the downshifts, if you're leaving it in the automated mode, are not harsh, which I actually really like.
You got it.
Oh, that's the new little Wagoneer S model? That's weird. I need it. Yeah. Jeep's doing weird things with their Wagoneer models.
Right.
Still ain't.
Aren't they raising the prices too?
Oh my God.
It's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Wagoneer S, I think starts at like the 60 or 70 grand range. And it's an electric vehicle, which EVs in general already don't really sell well. So I don't know what they're
asking a little too much.
A lot of it too much. Yeah. Man, I love the responsiveness. I think putting the hybrid aspect to the turbo 4-banger was a really good move.
Yeah, it was a good decision.
Yeah. Because now you don't have to wait for boost to build.
No
so
lag
you
or nothing,
right. Yeah, it's like you got it and it's instant. Are we taking a left?
Left up here.
Ooh, I remember that because I accidentally went right, and then Daniel was like, "Oh no, you need to go to the new car building." I was like, "I didn't realize you have 2 separate buildings." And then I looked at the building, the pre-owned one. It says certified pre-owned. I was like, "I guess reading helps." But hey,
no worries. A lot of people, it happens all the time.
Personal. Okay.
This is just the comfort mode, yeah.
Yep, and I can see that the engine shut off for the idle stop and go.
Yep, the auto start stop.
Yep, individual settings. Yeah, we'll mess with that a different time. Starts instantly. But even in this, you know, with this being a more comfortable drive mode, I mean, it's adequate.
Oh yeah.
Heads up display.
Really beats it, honestly.
No, heads up display is super nice too. It's a huge head up display.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
It's visible too.
Yeah. I will say this, from the outside, looks like a smaller SUV from the previous gen, but inside it feels larger. And then when you're in the car, you definitely feel like you're sitting taller.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm sitting in maybe an X5.
It does, right?
It definitely sits taller.
How much spacious it feels and everything?
Absolutely.
You're totally right.
Mind you, I'm not a tall guy. I'm 5'9", but
no, I'm about the same height as well. So I mean, it still feels like really spacious, though.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting because I've looked at other people's like reviews of the car, and their biggest takeaway with like the new dash design is like it's very minimalistic, which it is. But like even design cues, like the stitching in the middle, it's completely random, but for some reason it just fits. It's like BMW's doing just random things with their design.
Like that design, it kind of like looks like the design from the front grille
right.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the
kind of
little,
bringing it down. It looks cool.
I don't even know what they're calling it, but it looks
it's
pretty
something
sweet.
with the, I don't know, it's some iconic kidney grille. I don't know what they're calling it though.
It's iconic.
It's a definitely new design to BMW.
It's iconic. This is going to get some taking used to.
Oh, the opening especially right here, integrated into the door handle.
Yeah, that was definitely a little on the weirder side, but I think like once you know how it works, so easy to get used to.
Exactly.
Dang. Going over bumps is seamless. Yeah, this is nice. I mean, this one's stickers for about 60 grand, but this one's a really well optioned one, and sport model and all.
Exactly.
Ooh, there's the entrance.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that steering is so effortless. Ooh, big bump. No issue. Oh God, what was that?
My phone.
Oh,
no worries.
Man, this thing is nice. This is definitely a livable luxury SUV.
Oh, yeah.
And it's definitely tech forward, but it's not too simplistic to where you feel like you're driving, dare I say, a Tesla. Oh, see? I can just press the little parking button.
You can see, if you're going in straight.
That's like an 8K camera.
Exactly. Right. It's really nice. Very visible, too.
See, this is different, too.
Yeah, the gear shifter and everything.
Yeah, how you just press it and it goes into park. It's almost like the M cars, because the M cars, you got to do that.
Right.
But this is a nice ride.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's comfortable, sporty. Great gas mileage. I think it's rated at 33 highway. You got all the tech you want, nothing you don't want. And all the advancements are still easy enough to get used to. So even if you're coming out of an older BMW, this is going to feel right at home.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
a lot of more things are integrated into the software now, too.
Right,
So,
but it's not done in a bad way, because a lot of car companies will integrate everything into the screen.
It makes it more confusing.
Cough, cough, Volkswagen. But, you know, this is really well done. In the screen, the reaction time is just incredibly fast, and everything you need is there. You know, getting your heated seats, steering wheel. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And so this is the 2025 BMW X3. It is their new generation of compact luxury SUVs, and it is going to be a home run as every X3 has been prior, but this goes into a new foray of technology and design for the BMW brand. So again, I'd love to thank United BMW for letting me borrow this X3. And again, thank you guys for watching. My name is Austin Ayer from Captured Metal, and I'll see you on the next review.